hello. Good evening. Welcome to Imagine Me TV talk show. Real life, real issues, real people. We that show is where we empower and encourage our viewers. We bring on some of the most amazing guests on here, and these guests are really powerful. They're well known in their field, and all we do is to share our stories, share our experiences. That way, we can empower and encourage you. So we just want to give a shout out to everyone that is listening. We let me see. I'm going to call even just a few of the countries that have tuned into our show. The USA, of course, we have Korea, Canada, England, Dominica, Barbados, Saint Martin, Antigua, China, India, France, Japan, Nigeria, Bahamas, Finland, Turkey, Italy, Guadeloupe, Jamaica, Spain, Colombia, and the list goes on. There's at least 50 countries that have tuned into the show. So we would just want to give a shout out to everybody that have supported us, that watched the show, that shares the link. We just want to say thank you very much. And as you guys know, every Sunday I ask you right now, I know that we have really great information and empowering testimony that my sister is going to share and talk to you about some amazing stuff, how we met. It's going to be really cool. So right now, I want you guys to take that time, ladies and gents, and go ahead, invite your friends, invite your cousins, your neighbors, anybody you can invite. Share the link. We on Facebook Live, we on Imagine Me TV, Link Your Brand, Live You Are, Roku, let's see, Amazon Fire. So there's no reason that you can't check the show out. So right now we're gonna put on an ad, and as you watch this ad, let us go ahead and share this video and ask everybody to come in. And when you come back, we'll welcome our guests.
Do you want to grow your online presence and expand your business reach? Our marketing team can definitely help you. Advertise with us today and let Imagine Me TV take your business to the next level. We are offering 3 affordable packages to the end of 2020. Package number 1, you will receive 1 flash ad at the opening of the show. We will also share your business name, location, and phone numbers, and that is only $59.99. In package number 2, you will receive everything from package number 1, but you will also get a second flash ad in the middle of the show. In package number 3, you get to be the show sponsor, and you will receive everything in package number 2. Plus, we will list your website, and you will also have a 30-second video ad. These are some amazing prices. So what are you waiting for? Contact us today at email address info@leagueyourbrandltd.com, or you can call us at 614-402-7034. You can also visit our website at leagueyourbrandltd.com. You can catch our show on several broadcasting platforms like liveyourstreaming.com, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and also on Imagine Me TV network at League Your Brand Limited Company. We have viewers in all 50 states and globally. We are international, we are national, we are worldwide. Canada, Africa, Asia, Europe, the Caribbean islands, just to name a few. We are Imagine Me TV, your number 1 virtual TV talk show.
And we are back, and welcome once again. This is Imagine Me TV. I am your host, Flynn Lawrence, and I am really excited to be here today. I want to give a shout out to my friend that told me that she's just going to tune in, Hoella Goodwin from St. Croix. She is growing up, I love to hear her sing. I love to hear her dance, and I know one day I'm going to have her on the show because I know she have a really great story to tell. But today it's my birthday, and it's a special day, and I wanted to bring someone that means so much to me. I wanted to bring her on the show today, and I was so thankful when she accepted my invitation. I'm going to read a little bit about her. This short page I have is just a little bit. She's awesome. My dear friend Stephanie is a Columbus-based award-winning photographer and creative director with over 15 years experience in fashion, fine arts, and photojournalism. Stephanie approaches photography with an intention to reveal the passion, energy, and spirit of her subject. That is very true. Her success as an image maker and storyteller is due in part to her belief that visual imagery has the power to transcend the forms, the frame, to start conversation, to facilitate healing for the subject, and to imperfect impact the community. Stephanie studied with world renowned fine art photographer Joyce Tennyson, hope I'm saying it right, at the Maine Photographic Institute before moving to Manhattan to work for celebrity fashion photographer Matthew Jordan Smith. She currently travels across the country creating works for brands, modeling agencies, and individual clients. Some of the projects that we want to highlight that she's worked on, she was the lead fashion photographer for the Columbus Book Project, a one of a kind 250-page coffee table book showcasing the arts, diversity, talent, and culture of Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, Columbus. Children of Congo, The Power of the Human Spirit, a multimedia gallery installation of work captured during her months long journey through the Democratic Republic of Congo. I can't wait for us to go there, sis. Creative director, supervising producer, athletics in fashion, pilot, a day in the life of the NBA most stylish players as they cruise around Los Angeles discussing life, basketball, and fashion. Magazine covers Chef Marcus Samuelson, Monarch, CNN show host Don Lemon, Bishop T.D. Jakes, additional publishing credits LA Fashion Magazine, Cosmo, South Africa, Peoples.com, Essence.com, New African Woman Magazine, and more. I'm telling you, she is a powerhouse, and it gives me, I mean, great honor to welcome my dear friend and sister Stephanie Matthew to the show. My sister, good evening.
Hi.
You look fabulous and bright and shiny
Oh,
now. How you doing?
I'm good. Happy birthday, beautiful. How are you?
I am good. Now that you're there, I am good. I mean, this was a really great birthday, and I really had a really great time. You know me, I'm gonna celebrate the whole month though. Just
I
just in case
know.
anybody's wondering, I'm gonna do for all what I've been through the last couple months. I'm like, okay, I'm taking the whole month of March, and if anybody complain, I'm gonna take some in April and May too. So,
You
but
deserve
how
you deserve all the joy. You deserve all the blessings, honey. Happy birthday. You look beautiful. Loving the necklace.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that, and I received that, and you look beautiful too. And
Thank
I
you.
know we have a lot to cover, and I want to give a shout out to mom because I know mom is in the background watching. So hey, mom.
She
Yes,
ran upstairs to see it on TV. Yeah,
oh,
she
okay, good. I want to give a shout out to her and just tell her I miss
thank
her and
you.
I love you guys. I can't wait, to visit in Ohio. Well, we can actually do this in a studio in Ohio as well. So,
That would be
but
wonderful.
I just want to welcome you, my sister, and just thank you. I'm gonna even just talk a little bit. Well, I might let you share that story. So we're gonna just jump in right away. So the first thing I remember when we first met, and the encouraging words you gave me as I nervously prepared for my show. Do you find, but you know what? I think I must just skip somewhere there. Let's see. Yeah, I think I jumped to question number three. You know what? I lost I had numbers 1, 2, 3, but when I
You are so
printed it,
funny.
it gave me little buttons like you see these little dots. I'm like, wait, there's no number. Okay, so your bio showcased a wealth of talent and experiences with quite renowned possibilities. But tell us, how did you first get started in photography? Was this a childhood love or passion? And who inspired you?
Hmm. Okay, uh my dad had passed away when my dad had cancer, bile duct cancer. It was a very rare form, and um before I started photography, I actually had worked at my family's bakery. We had a family owned business,
Okay.
and so a lot of people don't really realize that I went from corporate to family owned business. And so I was decorating cakes. I was a cake decorator before all of this started. Well, anyway, Dad got cancer, and in his final stages, I really wanted an opportunity to be able to like see him. Those are my words, my thoughts. See him,
Mm.
and by that I mean I was looking for I don't know. I was looking for that unknown. You know, he was a very quiet man. He was a very intelligent
Mm.
man, a man of very few words. And, you know, I was a daddy's girl. I was born on Father's Day. And
Oh.
I loved my father very much. And I was his caregiver. I was there from the beginning of his diagnosis to the very end. And so at the time, I happened to be hanging out with a bunch of documentary photographers. Okay.
Mm.
And I picked up a camera. I started learning photography, asking them questions, and then I started documenting my father. And that's how it really all came about. Before he died, I had the opportunity to have a gallery exhibit, self
Oh.
financed, okay? And it was called Simply Beautiful Portrait Essay of Women. And I'm sorry. So the portrait essay of women, and so it was like black and white photography with poems and quotes. You know, I interviewed the different women that I photographed, and I hung it in the. We hung it at the bakery space. It was a huge bakery, and we invited all these people. And you know, my dad said at the one of the things he said to me about the work is because he was a chemical engineer by training, right? You know, very analytical person. And I remember we were standing there, and he said, "Sweets," he was like, I don't understand it, but I like it. And that was the best compliment I ever got.
Oh, wow.
Because he felt it, you know,
Yes.
for that it was. And so, even to this day, a lot of people have never seen the photographs that I shot of my father in those final months. But he was my inspiration for moving forward. Before he passed, he said it was okay for me to go head on to New
Oh.
York to go do what it was that I needed to do. You know, I had given my time and my life to the family and the business and whatnot. And so from there is when I took a few chances. I wanted to study with this fine art photographer, Joyce Tennyson, and her workshop at the Maine Photographic Institute it was it was sold out. It
Wow.
was sold out. I couldn't get in, but I had a friend whose wife I had photographed for that series, and her husband is a renowned architectural photographer, and he knew Joyce. And so Arthleen, he picked up the phone and called her, and she said, "Yes, if this is a photographer that you think, could benefit from being in the workshop, absolutely, I'll let her in." And it's so crazy because Rockport, Maine was actually sold out. There were no bed and breakfast. There were no hotel rooms to be had because, the Photo Institute was in session. And
Mm-hmm.
she invited me to stay in her home. I stayed at her
That's a
amazing
that's
house.
favor.
Oh my gosh, it was absolute blessing. I stayed at her home the entire time, and I mean, it just was spectacular. That was God's hand over my life, um, always, right? But it was so
Yeah.
clear and evident then the way the doors opened
Yeah.
without me even having to try. People coming forward and just blessing me, and I probably answered like way too much more than you wanted to
Oh,
know,
no,
but
no, that's okay. And that's what it is. To just as it flows, as
yeah,
we want to flow, So that's okay. That's it was something that you just said that how things don't even so there are times we ask God for stuff and we're like, well, we didn't even get it. Sometimes when we don't even ask, He knows what we need and He just gives it to us. But it's only sometimes when we look back, we're like, wow, how did this?
wow, yeah, yeah, and that was and I've seen God's hand work in my life very, very, just audaciously,
Mm,
many times. And
yes.
so all glory, to God for that. And I'm so happy. I love you so much, Arthleen, that we can talk this way, that you allow this format and this space, because I know you love the Lord, and I do too. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, my career it hasn't always been what I wanted, but I believe it's been what I needed to have happen, because I'm still being put in place for things that are to coming. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um, I mean, there were goals and dreams that I had, wanting to be the first, photographer, female Black photographer to shoot, a Vogue cover and things like that or whatnot. And, those aren't even dreams that I have so much anymore. It's more about the relationships, communication, the people. And
Yeah,
what I discovered along the way is that photography has the power to facilitate healing. And I think
mm,
I even mentioned that in my bio, which I had rewritten a little bit of that a week ago. And it's the truth. It's the
yeah.
truth. In fact, I'm working on a new series that I'm going to launch, a video series that I'm going to launch this coming week, um,
Okay.
which is about just those things. So. Mhm.
Okay, I can't wait. I can't wait to see. Maybe you can.
Yes,
Maybe
sissy.
you can be on our channel as well. You never know. We'll see. Wow, that's good. So we're gonna jump into the second and say, okay, so like some other artists, photographers that I have worked with, you take your passion and work in an interesting direction. Your production and interpretation of the picture exemplifies the saying, "A picture paints a thousand words." Tell us about what you see and seek in bringing life to the pictures of a subject. And I know when I first started and you shoot even some of my dresses, and I know we'll talk about the other one later on, but I would look at it, I was like, wow, did I created that? Because I mean, just even in the pictures, they just look like magnificent. So
Well,
tell us
one of my okay, so I over the years I had kind of structured I created a philosophy about my work and what photography means to me, and it's this idea. There's two things. One, there's this idea of creating a safe space
mm,
for the
yeah,
subject that I'm shooting.
yes,
We live in a world that's full of judgment, that's full of fear, that's full of bias, and so we have uh, a mandate, I believe, okay, to set an environment and set an intention about the work we're about to create.
yes,
And when I say that, I mean, so for instance, I'll use a couple examples. One, if I'm working with a team, okay, um, my thought is I want to help elevate everyone present. I want to
mm,
honor the makeup. I want to honor the hair. I want to honor the fashion design. I want to honor all of the time and the talent and the gifts that
very
are
good.
present. Okay? And I think a lot of times creatives take it for granted that, they're the ones, creating these images.
Yeah,
Yes, you know,
true.
there's a higher power at work. There's that, of course, and but it's we have to humble ourselves a bit and remember that we have an entire team around us. It takes a team to create a photograph. Okay,
Yes. Mm,
and me, Arthleen. I love when you first started. I love emerging talent. You know
yeah,
that. I love the passion, the fire, the just the pureness of that comes about,
yeah.
through design.
Yeah.
And when I shot the feather dress, it was the peacock dress.
Yes, tell us the story about it, because that's how we met. And I'm not
I know, but girl, no, your memory is better than mine. I remember shooting it on the rooftop. I remember I begged you to take it to New York. I took it to New York. But
but the
how did
story was
you
because
remember?
what happened, because I think it was a competition which I won the competition, but they did not give it to me. You know, they didn't give it to, because I don't think they expected what I came up with. But I remember when I met you after the show. I think you said you were there, and then the show was going on, and then the people were coming at you like, you know what, this I'm leaving, I'm out of there. But then you said you heard the music, and just the music that started playing while you were, and I think you had a friend with you. You guys were walking out the door. You heard the music, and then you stopped. Then you turned, and then you saw a leg come out, and just seeing the leg came out and the pink dress, it was just different. You're like, wait, we're going back in,
We
and
go back in.
like you guys came back in. Then you said one after one. I think the first one that came was Alicia came out with a pink dress, and then the other one, and then the other one, and the bridal one. And I think you said when the peacock feather gown came out, you were like, okay, I gotta meet her. And then you waited. I think I was packing up my stuff, and then right after the show, you came and talked to me, and then it just from there, it was just like, whoa.
Where were we at? Where was that
It
at?
was It's a place on is it 161? The oh man, it was a
Villa.
really
It was
nice place.
Villa Milan. No, 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 not Villa Milano. Was it?
Not the Villa Milan. It was another really nice place. They do a lot of Christmas parties there. They
I
have.
don't remember.
I think it wasn't 161. Not
No, no,
161.
no. Rock Road. It's on the
Shrek
front.
Road. It was right on Shrek when they had like I can remember like a big horse head and stuff like that. It was
Yes.
really fancy. It was really really nice.
Yes, it was. And I can't remember the name of it, but I know exactly where it is. Arthleen. I remember that. Thank you for jogging my memory, sis. Because I was. I was going to leave. Because I was like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Some of these designs or whatever.
I
And
know.
your stuff started coming out. Girl, I love it.
Yes, yes. And then that's how then I remember then you took the one dress because you're like, I want to shoot this dress. And then you took the dress to New York.
Yes.
And then next thing I knew, it came out in the magazine
Yes.
In California. And because of that, that's how I was able to do my first big show in Hollywood. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
Remember I did a show with what was her name? She's from Nigeria. Bella. Bella's she owned the magazine
oh my God.
African Vibes.
Aniba. Yes.
Yes, African
Yes.
Vibe. Yeah, because I had to send all this work and send stuff. And I remember that I was like, because I just started and I was like, I don't even have that kind of money to fly there and stuff. But I just said, you know me, I usually say yes and then I figure it out because I just trust
Right.
God. I'm like, yes, I'm going. Like I feel like that when you send me this stuff and I fill it out, I send it, I got accepted um and God just made a way. One day, I think it was someone from another person that really believes in me in Ohio. They literally came to my house and gave me a $500 check, which was exactly what I needed.
Look
And
at
she's
God.
like, I know you just got
Look at,
started. We really believe in you. And I was like, okay,
look at
you
God.
know, and from
Yeah.
then it just
Stay.
explode. So you actually, like I said, I tell everybody, Pastor Tyler saw the dream in me. He get me started. But then it was after that you saw that dress, and then you came to my house. And remember, you spent hours and hours. I'm like, because for me, we're taking pictures, and I was like, okay, half an hour, we'll be done. I'm like,
Right,
wow,
right.
like 6 or 7 hours, we're still taking pictures, and you did not look tired. The models were just they're going like. Remember, we had Ludi.
That's right. We were banging out that collection. That's right.
Oh my, it was amazing. And then you sent me the pictures. I was like, wow. And from that day, we just, so
Yeah.
it's been a journey. It's not very often that you find people that stay with you, for the ups and the downs, and especially it means a lot to me because I knew the caliber of your work. I knew the people that you worked with, and I was like, oh, there she is, working with me and just empowering me and supporting me. And that's why this show even exists, that people can know that hey, there's someone out there that has been through what you've been through, and for us to work together as team and continue to support and empower and encourage each other.
Yes,
So
sis. Yes.
yes, yes.
It was destined for us to. It was always destined for us to come together.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
because that's when you were walking out that door.
I'm sorry. Oh my
I
God.
know.
It really
I mean,
was.
I was like,
It really was. Yes.
I
Yes.
think it was with that one show I had to do because I never went back after that. I was like, that's okay. So, but yeah, we're gonna so I mean, we actually just went into I remember when we first met, you encouraged me. Your encouraging words you gave me, because I was really nervous. I mean, even after that, I did other shows and the other stuff. You would always make me feel like, whether it's for a phone call or email or something, that you got this, and it meant so much to me because sometimes it would. I know I don't want to. I'm not. I wasn't one of the designers that think that hey, my work was so great that I did not need someone to keep pushing me, empower me. Every time I was like, man, I wonder if this thing is okay. And everyone was like, oh God, this is so fabulous. And I'm like, and most times even we don't always see it.
Right.
To have someone come, say, what, I believe in you. It just gives you. I mean, I used to smile inside, and but what it did too, I wanted to make sure my work was much better for you because then I know that the type of work that you like, I'm like, okay, Stephanie's gonna shoot this. This better be up to par. So that really helped me do better, in my work. So,
You were so
but
funny. I love it. I love it. You're so talented, honey. You're so talented.
thank you,
Bless
thank you, thank you for that. Do you find many persons like this that you would have encouraged, which I know because you have worked with so many people and you have inspired and helped so many young people at that too.
Uh,
So many models. Do you still, how often is it that you have to, keep pouring into them?
it it's never ending.
Mm,
Um, and I'm always finding new people to pour into. That's just it.
praise God.
It's just part of, I think, my journey, and what it is that I'm supposed to do as an
Yeah,
artist. And I've got this thing where, I mean, I know who I am now. I get it. I'm an encourager. I'm a mentor. I'm a teacher. And I love embracing creatives. I just do. And so that'll always be who I am. It'll always be what I do. So, you know, yeah.
okay. So one of the questions I have is like your style, and then we can see it. Even I love your hair,
Oh, thank
makeup,
you.
and everything. I know every time I see the pictures, I was like, wow. See, I'm not that brave yet. Just many times I'm like, I just want to cut and do it. Like right now, it's all shriveled up because I wet it, but it fits you really well, and so
Well,
your style.
I had no control over it. Earthly, it started as a gray streak here in the front, just a little
Mm.
bit, and then this was like 3 years ago, and now look at it. It started as one little. Come on.
Oh, that's your natural hair.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is my natural hair. No, it started literally as a gray streak here in the front, and then it just kind of took off on its own. Girl, yeah, this was
Oh,
me.
wow! 'Cause I
I
felt
didn't
like
do
you used to
this.
color it in gray. I thought you grayed it especially.
No.
Wow! It's really nice
No. Thank
because that's
you.
what people
But
do.
see
I
how
know
I
people
colored my hair?
actually do it
Girl,
too.
no, no, no. I know girls pay a lot of money to get their hair.
Yes.
No, no. Just
Oh, okay. Wow. Wow. Yeah. See, mine. Well, see, mine. What mine does, it the gray's in the middle. It's not like in the hair, you
right,
know.
right, right.
And I'm like, okay, so it's either I have a two tone, I kind of like black and white. So sometimes I wear my hair black and white too. So I just,
But listen, when it comes time for it to come, you gotta let it come, girl. Because at some point, the color that you place on it's just not even gonna take anymore, and that's what happened.
I
I'm just
know
like,
because then
okay.
I
So
see people that I was like, is your hair supposed to be black, orange, green? What? Just let it be gray. And then that's what I was thinking because even the other day I was brushing my hair back and I seen all the grays and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna wear my gray. And that's one of the things I want to empower women though, because a lot of times it's because of what people say or what people think why we do things. I
right.
mean, even when God told Adam, who told you you were naked? It's like, who told you your hair was great? You know, it's not the person's business, and I'm trying to hold that for myself as well because most of when I see it, I don't always have time to color it black and stuff. And then I have this thing that I put in there. Sometimes I just like this is such a waste of time, so I just brush it down. And if I put in a ponytail, and I just leave my gray show because I'm like, we put too much pressure on ourselves, really.
We put way too much pressure on ourselves, and like you said, so people think, oh, well, you got a lot of wisdom. Your hair is great. I'm like, I don't know, I don't know about that, but
Well, you do though. You
it
do.
is what it. Oh, thank you, sis. But it is what it is. So just yeah, girl. I
Yeah.
can't believe you thought I dyed my hair. I am really.
Only time I've seen it, I really thought like it was just because I have a couple of friends that does it, and
That
wow, it is beautiful
that is
and it's
a lot
pretty
to maintain.
natural.
Girl, let me see. Let me
Wow,
get it to
wow,
her. Yeah, yeah.
that
Just
is
pump up a
fabulous.
little bit, girl. I love.
Wow, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I say that your style, as we can see, it truly brings out the beauty of the image. Tell us, what would you say are the signs of a good photographer? What should one be looking for in capturing an image? I think that's very, very important.
It is. Okay, so repeat the question for me again. Repeat it again.
Okay, so just say what's the sign? What would you say are the signs of a good photographer, and what should one be looking for in capturing an image? Because so many people these days just say they're photographers, they take pictures, and Yeah.
Right, absolutely. Okay, so what are the signs of a good photographer? Let's start with that one first. In my opinion, as I'll take it from the standpoint of a client, you being the client, for instance, okay,
Okay.
and you're going to select a photographer, you should really be looking at the whole of their portfolio. Don't
Mm,
just get so enraptured with a photograph, okay,
mm,
that they took.
yeah.
Look at all of their work. Look to see if there's consistency in their work. Consistency as far as the lighting, and in terms of the styling, in terms of the composition. Um, if you feel like the body of work is strong, then you know you're onto something. But
Mm,
you want to keep an eye out for, see, that's just it, Arthur. It's tough because a lot of people don't have the knowledge to be
mm.
able to necessarily discern what is a good photograph from one that is just so so.
So
um,
yeah.
that's an education process. And oh, here's the thing, at the end of the day, if the work strikes you as
Okay.
something powerful, as something magnetic, then chances are it's probably a pretty strong photograph. But I
Okay.
will say it's really subjective. You
Mm,
know, a lot of people do pick up, okay, so listen, everyone's got camera phones now.
yeah.
And there are a lot of dynamic iPhone photographers. I don't get me wrong. I'm talking about world class talent shooting work with their iPhone. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Magnificent images. Um, but when you shoot people, that's different if you're shooting spaces and locations and things. But when you're shooting people, you really have to look for, are you seeing the spirit of that person come through?
yeah.
If you're shooting product, like clothes, for instance, on a model, are the clothes coming to life? These things
Mm,
matter. You can tell those things from photographs that are flat as opposed to photographs that really have dynamicism. So
yeah.
that's that first part. The second part, which was about
Uh,
photography.
what should be one be looking for in capturing an image?
Mm, okay, so for me, I'll give this example. So when I am shooting someone, I am looking to see past the facade that they
Okay.
have presented to the world. Okay. In fact, there was a series that I shot many years ago when I was in New York, which was about the masks that we wear. Okay,
Mm,
the
oh,
face that we show the world, as opposed to the face
yeah.
we actually are, the spirit person who we are,
Oh
and the
wow.
face we show the world. And I had shot it with dancers, and I had them draped in different heavy fabrics and spandex and things like that, kind of pushing through the fabrics. And because there's this idea that, and for a long time I had suffered with depression for many years. For about 20 years I had suffered with depression, and praise God, I was able to overcome all of that.
Mhm.
But I knew and I understood from a very intimate place about, the face that you show the world, the smile, but
Mm.
the hurt that was also on the inside. So, yeah, I lost track. Where was I? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
sis.
Well, maybe that's where God maybe wanted you to go. Because as he was saying that too, though, it just brought me to another question though. That when you talk about it, I didn't even know you were going to talk about the face that you show the world, and even if it's in photography, but in life, many people take on stuff that they should not be doing because someone else is doing it, or I want to do this, or even sometimes we wear stuff because someone else is wearing it. Um, you know, even with working with models and all these people doing the pictures, do you, like you said, you get past see just the beautiful face, or just because there's so much more
Yes.
um, inside? So, do you? Can you tell us maybe like a little bit about maybe how people mask that, how they hide that, and just act like, even especially in social media, people that you think that have everything is perfect, and some people look at it like, oh well, this person life is going so well, why am I struggling so much, and they don't know. Can you just talk a little more on that for us, please?
Yeah, that's a heavy topic. So we're in this stage right now, in this age, right? Social
Yeah.
media, where there are, a lot of what you see on Instagram and Facebook, these are snapshots of a life, snapshots that aren't even real, constructed environments, you know what I mean? With the
Yeah.
selfies and all of this is what I'm eating and this is where I am, the luxury lifestyle and all that or whatever. And how many photos did it take to actually get the image? You know what I mean? Here are these
Mhm.
content creators shooting 100 photos just to get the one for
One. Yeah.
Instagram. You know what I mean? And this idea that, see, here's the thing, Arthleen, and you know this because we're spiritual people. What's
Hmm.
for you, for you. A.
Yeah.
B. There is more than enough for everyone.
Yes. Yes.
If you were following your path, if you were going where you're supposed to be going in line with what the Lord has laid down for you, guess what? Door upon door upon door will open. And I'll
Yes.
share with you. I've been meditating. I was actually going to put a post up about this this week, but one of my favorite scriptures of this year, starting this year, was Revelation 3:8, which says, how's it? Let me see. Let me see. Oh, I lost my thought. Hold on. Hold on.
Revelation 3
I
8.
know your deeds. I know your deeds.
Mm.
See, I have placed before you an open door that no
Oh.
shut. I know you don't have the strength, but you have kept my word and not denied my name. And
Mm.
that whole idea that, see, I've placed before you an open
Open
door
door.
that no one can shut.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
further
powerful.
confirmation that what is for you is for
It's
you.
exactly that no one can shut.
No one can shut. Exactly. So
But
why
sometimes though we're
so
looking at
desperate?
other people's door.
Why are you, yeah, why are you over here? Thank you, Arthleen. Why are you over here looking at other people's door, looking at what they've got? Oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. Stop.
Mm.
Because God is always going to give you what you need,
Yes.
not what you want. You're often not going to get what you want. You're going to get what you need. And he
Yes.
knows. Girl, don't even get me started, Arthleen.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Teach my sister.
No, but it's a dangerous time, and I feel like spiritually, a lot of people. I pray for the world, for people to start to slow down. It's very interesting. The pandemic happened when it did. Can we talk
Mm.
about that for a minute? Because
Wait, go ahead. Go ahead.
okay, so this pandemic has revealed a lot
Yeah.
about um, where we are as human beings. And God shut down the whole world. I mean, not just the United States, shut everybody down,
Everywhere.
stopped everything, quieted everyone. And what's interesting is there's Pastor Miles Monroe. Do you know Dr. Miles Monroe?
Yes. Oh yeah.
The Bahamas. Okay.
Yeah. You're from yeah.
Yes, yes, and I loved him very much, and I thought of him as a teacher, and I still listen to his sermons and read his books.
Yeah. Me too.
And yes, and so there was one particular sermon that I keep meditating on, which talks about in times of crisis how
Mm.
creativity and innovation rule and force people to shift. Now, you can stay stuck if you
Mm.
want to,
Yeah.
but what you need to do is think about shifting, releasing the old ways, because guess what? The pandemic put a stop to all of that. Okay. And shift, innovate, create, keep moving forward. This was a roadblock, a stumbling block. It knocked a lot of us, back. Okay.
Yeah.
But God is still in charge of our lives. The pandemic was not a surprise to God at
Yeah.
all. Okay. So do you have faith? Do you still rest in the fact that the Lord is leading your life, the head of your life? Okay. Breathe, listen, focus, hear what it is that you're supposed to do, and continue on. Now, let me say this with respect to, and I say this respectfully because a lot of people had a very difficult time, fell into depression. There's been a lot of suicide. There have been a lot of people who have just stumbled and lost their way during this pandemic. A lot of loneliness, a lot of depression, and I recognize all of that, and my heart goes out to it. And a lot of loss. We also lost people through
Yeah.
to COVID. But I also know of a lot of people who took the opportunity to review their work,
Yes.
where they were headed, review
Very-
their branding, review their image, take time to read, take time to do self work, and to
Start new businesses. Yeah.
created new businesses. In fact, the New York
Mm-hmm.
Times, it's so interesting. Can I just share? I want to share this with you. A friend
Go
sent
ahead.
this to me today. I'm going to tell you the name of the article, okay? And it was fascinating. The New York Times had an article this morning that came out called "Can You Really Turn a Hobby into a Career?" As the pandemic has upended the American job market, the dream of turning a pastime into a moneymaker is no longer a fantasy for these entrepreneurs. And the
Mm-hmm.
article goes on to like highlight, 5 or 6 people around the country who had taken small things that they were doing as, because first of all, there's your job, okay? Your
Mm-hmm.
job that pays your bills, your money, and then there's your work, what you're supposed to be doing.
We do
Your
it. Yeah.
job, what you need to
Mm-hmm.
do to be able to financially support yourself, but then there's your work, which is what you're calling to do.
Yeah.
Okay. And these people took the time to start investing in that. Girl, please. It's a fantastic article. I recommend everybody read it. It was very
Yeah, but send it to me. But see, even
okay.
and we'll take a break soon. And
Okay.
to talk about I want to put up a clip of something that we're doing, which brings me just what you were saying. Because when the pandemic hit, because I had just quit my job because my business, and it seemed like I said on the show, but every time it comes up, but maybe someone needs to hear it, that I quit my job because my business looked like it was ready to pick up and go. So I had the boutique, I had events lined up. I actually had an event set up with the mayor. We were talking about, we already had the location and stuff, talking about Fayetteville Fashion Week. It's like everything. I had gigs where I was gonna get paid to do it. My space was, I had someone already sign up to, establish my place. Is just so many things. And then the pandemic hit. I'm one of the person in the arts, so I could not. Everything shut down. Everything shut down.
Everything.
My husband got stuck in Barbados, and I was there. I saw my daughter came out from, maybe I think she had, and she doesn't mind. I said like $5 and something in her pocket, and her business. I mean, now my child is doing awesomely well.
Wonderful.
I started making masks. I never in my mind.
Yes.
So I had to shut down my website at a certain time because, well, I was donating a lot of them too, but then even just getting the idea to make them and give them to frontline workers and the police and these other people that needed them, just that idea. But then, because a lot of times the Bible is very important. It said to write the vision, make it plain,
Make
but
it
it doesn't say where if you write the vision it's going to happen right now.
that's
That's where a lot of people fail because they figure, okay, God, I write the vision and now it's not. But the reason he tell you to write the vision is so you can go back, because I'm experiencing that now, because some other things that God had told me to write, even when I started in the fashion, even this show right there, that was so many years ago. I had it written down, but I did not know what it really was like. I would never, if someone asked me I'll be doing a talk show, I would never do, I would be like, no way. Because number one, I didn't like to be in the public. I did not like to speak in front of people because of the verbal abuse that I had received, that I did not know. I would not, no, I was not the person, but God has delivered me from that. That's why we share a story to help people. But I'm looking at it, and even when the pandemic hit, then right away, then my show just got. I was like, okay, I got this, I got that. Let me just keep going. And we did the show, but right now another thing I had written about was having an awards show where, because I like to give back to people. When someone, I think right now we need to give people their flowers, their accolades, whatever
yes.
we give them before they go in the grave. Because when I'm in the grave, I don't know. So give it to me now. So I love to honor people. And I wanted to do that years and years ago. I had the name and everything, but I never saw it come through. But now God opened the way where I'm working with a sister from Antigua that has done her awards show for, I think this is going to be 6 or 7 years. And it's So Rise Music International, and we were talking, and then it's amazing how God just put this up. You're just having casual conversation, and bang, it comes through. And now we're planning to have this awards show. And actually, this is the announcement I was going to give today. As soon as I'm done here, I'm going to open up the platform, because we have the online form where we have photographers, models, different awards that people we're going to be giving out. So we have the nominations are going to start tonight until April. The show is in June, and it's going to be a phenomenal show. It's called Imagine Me TV and the Sunrise International. It's fashion and music videos. So
Wonderful.
yes, it's going to be amazing, and I think we have a clip that my husband can put up real quick. So for the fashion videos. Okay, maybe he's not. I'm not sure. Maybe let's see what's going on. Oh, you see that's the thing with TV. You just never know. You can have things all set up, and next thing you know, but well, we'll keep on going
Let's
on.
keep going. It's technology. It'll come.
Yeah. And let's see. I think there it is. One of the other things that God has.
Oh, I saw some of it.
Oh, I'm not sure. Sorry. So then that's where it goes. So it's gonna be phenomenal. So we are looking for design
amazing.
photographers just from all over the world. We already have, even like for the music videos, we already have people that are signed up for it even before it went out. So it's going to be June the 22nd, which is also Caribbean month in the US. But we involving everybody in it. I love to share. And the other thing that God had birthed on me as well was when we're talking about how God placed things in our heart, and when things happen that we're like, okay, what am I gonna do? But find that there's always an opportunity, no matter what it is, because we serve a great God. And
Yeah.
he said, whatever, when you come to him, if you say, God, you know what, this is all I have left, he's gonna help you make something out of it. Because
Yeah.
one of the things that I was able to do was even write my book, write another book as well. This is my fourth book, and it's called Quarantine with God, and it was
Oh,
released.
I
Yeah,
love that title.
it's on
Oh,
Amazon right now. I,
I
I
love
have a
that
picture of it
title.
right now. What's that?
I love that title.
Yes, it's quarantine, and then
Oh,
it happened even while I was in quarantine with COVID. We got COVID. I don't know, our stuff is trying to freeze up, but we're gonna keep on going. And then when my father passed, and then all this stuff was going on, and there I was feeling isolated, feeling like, okay, God, what's going on? And then he gave me that idea to. The topic came to me first. I always get a topic, and say quarantine with God. When, and not even just the quarantine, but when you're in a time of isolation, when you're in a time of whether it's sickness or you grieving or something's going on, you
mhm.
know, it's a time for you to try to collect your thoughts and say, well, let me
Yeah.
see what is God trying to tell me in this time.
Yeah.
Instead of
Yeah.
just, yeah, sometimes you scream and you mope and whatever. Yeah, we're normal, we're human being. It's okay. But then eventually you have to get to the point like, okay, you know what? I gotta get up. I gotta take this, whatever this thing is going on, and But anyway, we want you to talk a little more. So I'm gonna keep on going, asking the next question.
Okay.
Um, let's see. What are some of the challenges that you have faced in building your business in this industry?
Say it again.
So, what are some of the challenges that you have faced in building your business in this industry?
Hmm. Uh, challenges that I've faced. Sometimes making the right connections, but again, who leads our life? Are the connections we were supposed to have? Um, it's tough. Connections would be the tough. That would be the number one thing probably. Um, and then maybe see, honestly, questions like that are very interesting because I have two trains of thought about it. There's the world perspective, and there's the spiritual perspective.
Give us both.
So I'm trying to find that middle ground and how to answer something like that, because from a spiritual perspective I could say I have no problems that my career has gone exactly as it was supposed to. Doors open that were supposed to, and doors that didn't, thank God they didn't, because who knows what was behind that. So there's that. Then on the flip side, I could say from the world perspective, yeah, maybe not being in the right place for opportunities, or, because I live here in Columbus and no longer in New York, maybe that makes it more difficult for me to, secure work, which on the one hand is true, but then on the flip side of that, I continue to like be well and prosper and create new work and still have, a really great, brand image. So, I don't, it's a tough question. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah. I do understand. Yeah.
I
Um,
guess, well, how would you answer it? Because I don't, I'm saying I welcome
for
those
me,
questions, but it's for me, it's tough. It's a tough way to, I don't know, because I feel
for
two
me,
ways about it. Mm-hmm.
as a even as a fashion designer, and for some reason my picture is frozen, so we apologize for that. When you're dealing with internet and stuff like that, things
Happens.
happen. But for me, some of the challenges is even as a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some of the places, or even when I would do some shows and stuff, when they would be maybe paying another Caucasian person to do the show, I don't get paid to do it. Or if there's like times where they will, even if my work, and I'm not just saying I'm better than people, but then hey, I know my work, I could look at my work and look at it. They may get their to do work that I feel like, okay, this should have been me. Even for instance, even when we were in Ohio itself as well, there's some shows that I did and did it for people for free. But then when it was time for them to pay somebody, they didn't come and say, well, let's get acting. It was somebody else that, rather than say let's work with the people that have worked with us. So for me, it has been really challenging, and even working with a lot of people that would make you these promises, and that's why I don't really do fashion shows with people anymore, because I spend thousands of dollars doing fashion show on the promise that hey, we'll get your work in the boutique, we will give you this and we'll give you that, and next thing I'm $10,000 in debt because I created this whole collection. So it has really been challenging for me, even as a black woman trying to you know get
Okay.
get
Okay. So
help.
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. So let me just add this then. Okay. So I have had disappointments. I have had projects that I've been on where I have committed money and time and thousands of man hours. Okay. Where I thought that thought there were projects that were going to take off, that were going to, be something big, that to this day I still believe in, that have the opportunity to end up on television. That I'm talking about when I was producing, creative producing, or, I've got ideas that were given to me by the Lord where I'm like, okay, that's a show concept. That's this, that's that. Okay, so having said all of that, and with respect to what you had just said, I totally get it. But here's the thing: those were learning opportunities. Not now doesn't mean no. And that's how I see it, and not now doesn't mean no. And it just may mean later. And what it took me a long time, because I would get so hurt, Arthleen, about
Yeah.
these disappointments and things that would happen. People who didn't hold up their end. Okay, people who made promises. First of all, I can't put your faith in man. Keep it in the Lord. We invest too much. We have too much faith in people. Like, oh, this person's going to come through and they're going to do this and they're going to do that and they're going to whatever. Stop. Okay, what did you learn from it? And I'm saying that to myself because I had to really, I struggle with that a great deal. Stephanie, you were hurt, you were disappointed, you were disillusioned. What did you learn from it? There was a lesson in there for you. And Arthleen, when I went back and started really studying these different times in my life, those different seasons of disappointment where I felt like I was really just out there alone in the valley, girl, when I look back on it, there were all kinds of lessons to be learned. there was
Wow.
there were lessons to be revealed. God was in all of it. And I'm saying that from a very loving place, because I know you've probably went back and reviewed some of your past, you
Yeah.
know, projects too, and found that, well, wait a minute, you know, there was, so I think, yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay. Well, that's a good answer. Yeah. And then, like you said, that it's the learning experience. We learn from it and we move on, we move on from it. And that's what we're supposed to do, not stay there all the time. And also not make that get us into a place where we're bitter. Because sometimes I'll be like, you know what, I'm not helping anybody anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. But you never know the next person that's coming is not, they might not be like the first person. And I always, see even with all of that, this will learning experience to make sure that I'm aware of what happened to me, that I don't do the same thing to someone, you know,
Sis,
that I
absolutely. But you grew in wisdom and discernment through each of those experiences. And
yes,
so, whatever happened with the one person where you had invested thousands and thousands of dollars, I bet you will not make that mistake again. And so, when
I-
the opportunity comes with the person who's got the six-figure budget, the person who's got the project that is, this XYZ, guess what? You'll be completely ready,
yes,
and you'll
yes,
be able you have so much wisdom and discernment behind you that you'll be like, okay, you know what, and that's what it was supposed to look like. All
yes.
this
And,
I
and I
already
think in life,
know.
a lot of times thing is the preparation, the training that God is allowing us to have to get to the next level. We take it wrong and we're like, oh, this is happening to me. I'm never going to get it. And then we cut it short. We're like, you know what? This is not working out. I'm not going to do this anymore. But like for me, if I had, I'm looking at even as starting as a fashion designer and where I am right now, I was like, wow, God, you took me through all of this to bring me here. But every part of it was important because I see myself sometimes going back and tapping into there because now, I mean, I will do fashion design and shows and stuff like for myself, and I'm glad for that opportunity. But that's not my main focus right now. My main focus really is I love doing the show, and then my other thing, my with my charity as well. That's what I'm really working on. But all of it is lessons, and if we can learn that early, then even if we go for the challenges and the tests, we know, you know what, eventually we're gonna come out on top because we know that God is always helping us. And as we grow, as we get over it, then we in turn, like we're doing right now, we share with somebody else and empower and encourage somebody else. But
Absolutely.
tell us, who was your greatest inspiration and mentor? I know you were one of my mine. So tell us, even with, because I know you traveled a lot and you work with a lot of different people. So back then, or even now,
Greatest inspiration and mentor.
yeah.
Hmm.
Do you have many?
No, 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 I don't, that's a tough question. No, I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer. I admire a lot of different artists. I admire a lot of people's work. But I do find that most creatives are not open and
Mm,
accessible like I am. And
yeah.
so it's hard to get to know other creatives. They can be very cagey, very um so much you know, uh my
Oh,
work, my work, my work. you
yes. And
that
I,
I can't say that I know a lot of people intimately on a creative level. What makes them tick? What's their their vision of the world? How do they see it? I can only tell from their photographs, and so I
mm,
admire a lot of different photographers. But
mm,
I don't have a lot of like people that I
mm-hmm.
admire, or like, no. Mm-mm. I
That, well, thank you
currently have a
for.
I currently have a mentor. Thank God, God sent me a mentor to help me with this next stage in my life. He's a fantastic businessman
Mm,
and very well respected. And just being with him these last few weeks and seeing how he works, how the gifts God has given him has opened up another side for me in terms of
mm,
business. And so maybe at some other point I could share a little bit of that with you. But
okay.
that's helping to shift, and move my growth. So yeah, yeah.
Very good. I like the answer you gave though, because you again, what we go through help us, our experiences to help us say, you know what, I don't want to do it the way these people do, because there are people that I was looking for mentors and saying, you know, how did you do this? And the same thing happened to me when I started in the fashion industry, because you know, I didn't have a degree. It was just Pastor Tyus saw my work and he's like, girl, you got a gift, and I just ran with it. And
Right.
I would be go, you know, asking in Columbus, Ohio, these designers, and asking, well, even when we started the fabric, I did not know how much fabric to buy to make a dress. And I remember asking the same competition that we were doing. They would he's like, oh, I just wing it. And I'll be asking them questions and no one will give me answers. And I'm
Right.
like, I am not gonna take your idea. I'm just there's so much. I mean, I've given so much ideas, or just giving business ideas and stuff. I see people doing those businesses right now, but no one would really be open to say, well, you know what, let me put you sit down. This is what you do. This is, you know, and stuff like that. I was like, wow, in the fashion design area. And I was like, you know,
Well,
so
that's also for photography, sis. And I get told by a lot of people that they've never met photographers like me. Most photographers don't share. They don't want to show you how to do things. They want, you know, and I'm like, you do know that the whole idea about your work is your work is for other people.
yeah,
It's not about you. It's you're
yeah,
creating to impact the world. And so that also means that you should also be of the mindset of it's you're passing the baton. I
yeah,
just I'm lost.
yes,
I'm at a
exactly.
loss a lot of times for how people relate to one another these days. I have a lot of young people who come to me, and you know, sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, you know, I was scared to reach out. I didn't think you would, you know." And I'm like, "Honey, you know, I will probably be like one of the only people. I answer all the
That
emails,
would be
all
yes.
the Instagram DMs. I answer all of it, you know, because that's who I am. So, excuse me, Mom. Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you. So, Earthling, Mom says hi. She's like, Steph. I'm like, I'm on the video, so I don't know. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's mom for you. Yeah,
That's
well,
my, yeah.
tell her hi, mom. Tell her I said hello too. I think maybe she see me, but I think my portion is frozen, but we're still going on, you know. So, but it's okay. It's good. It's good. But you know, I can't believe. Wow, it's already 8 o'clock. But
Yes.
I'm just gonna go for one more question, and then which I think that's a really important one. How do you see this with, you know, promoting, like with your work and stuff? Um, Promoting healing in the subject and impact on the community. You know, tell us more about the healing part of it and stuff like that.
Oh, Arthleen, that right there is the beauty of it. Oh
Wow,
gosh. Okay. So what I realized a long time ago when okay, so let me go back to when I was shooting dance and I was living in New York. So after dad had died, I moved to New York and you know, I worked for Matthew Jordan Smith. That internship did not last very long. He ended up leaving, moving to the West Coast after like 30 years because Next Top Model had moved out west. And so, you know, I still had time on my lease, my sublet. I was living on the Central Park West. And I woke up one morning, Arthleen, and it had come to me that, oh my gosh, I'm going to shoot dance. Okay. And the only reason I'm telling you this part is because the dance facilitated more healing in me than I ever could have known. All right. Shooting the dance, the emotionalism of the movements, the music we would play in studio. Oftentimes, the dancers, as well as myself, would be crying through the process.
wow,
Um, they were releasing. Okay, I was releasing. I was in the middle of grief, in a very deep level of grief. You know, my father had only been he had only passed away for like he'd only been gone for like 6 8 months at that time, and here I am in a new city, and so I mean, basically, it's just. I mean, I don't know, Arthleen. I knew then that healing was a substantial part of the work that I was supposed to do because it would open up these dancers, it would open up me. And so then moving forward, as I created my philosophy around photography, I knew that that safe space was a healing space. So
Mm,
some people who would come to me for their photographs hadn't let anybody photograph them in years. Had maybe
mm,
just gone through a weight loss journey or gone through a death and had or some other loss, and they just needed stillness. They needed somebody to say, you know what, nothing you do is wrong. It's fine who you are. You're beautiful as you are, and to know that they are being seen.
yeah.
That's just it. People need to know that they are being seen. Everyone wants that. And
Yes.
so there's the environment of photography has allowed me the opportunity to have that healing for myself and for my clients. It's just really been magnificent. I got to spend more time thinking about it, and I hope I give you a good answer. I just it's
Yes.
it, it's
Yes.
it's so much bigger than I
Yes.
ever could have imagined, sis.
Well, I'm really proud of you, on all the work that you're doing,
Thank
and
you.
I can't wait to hear about the new projects that you're working on, and just continuing, because I mean I follow, I know you follow me on Facebook, I follow you on Facebook too, but just continually being an inspiration to so many young people. And I know you've traveled, you've worked all over the U.S. and you've traveled to countries in Africa and all stuff like that, and work with young people. And that is what we want to do, to be able to continue to empower them and encourage them, because so many times, people, throw things at them, they're doing this and doing that. No, let us see whatever it is that they're doing. How can we bring them in? How, if they're in photography, and you're a photographer, help them. I'm a designer. They want, they're looking for mentors. But
Yeah.
most times they can't reach certain people, so they
Yeah.
just like, you know what? Oh well,
Yeah.
So I really am thankful that you've been accessible to those that really need your help. And you some people, they will help you on there's like conditions, or but when
Right.
you do it, and I am a living proof of it, that you give. I mean, it's almost like I'm paying you $1 million. It feels like I'm paying you really well, because you do the best work or the best empowerment, and that is very important, because you don't know how far it can take someone to have someone believe in them so much. And I'm looking at me, I mean, I love your work, because I would go and I would look at your pictures, and I'll be like, wow, she has worked with all these people. I mean, you work with Tamara on Sister Sister with a project. You work with Titty Jakes. You're working magazine Essence and all this stuff. And I'm looking at my stuff, and I'll be like, wow. But you never made me feel like, even when I was just starting, like any one of them was higher than me or better than me. It's almost like, this is you, this is about you, this is how what you can do, and just really encourage me. And when it was time to push me, you pushed me in love, and just made me even just want to do better. Just when I was like, okay, Stephanie, I'm going with Stephanie, I gotta do better than this. you
Oh,
know
sis,
I
I
want to say
love you.
thank you very much for the gift,
Oh,
and
thank
even
you.
today as my birthday, come and hang out with me. So
Happy
now,
birthday.
you have a couple minutes. Just, if there's a word you want to give to someone out there, encouragement, just go ahead and do your closing for us. It's your platform now. Whatever you want to say, go ahead.
Oh gosh, you sprung this on me. I just want to say that whatever you do, approach it with a pure and open heart, and by that I mean set the intention, think um, about those who are around you, and be sure to remember that your work is not about you. It is an expression of who you are, but you were meant to share it with the world, and the world is waiting for what you have in you. They are waiting for your gifts, they're waiting for your talents, they're waiting to be inspired and empowered. And don't let fear keep you from moving forward. The world is waiting. The world is
Yes.
waiting for everything that you have within you, and don't take it with you. Don't take it with you to the grave. Leave it all here. Finish empty. I want to cry.
Wow. That is amazing. Thank you. Thank
Finish
you.
empty. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, sis. Love you. Thank you for
Well,
having
I love you, and thank you for being, open and transparent, and just because you just never know who's listening or who's gonna go back, whether they go on Roku, or because even once we're done, this all our shows are on this channel, so we know that people will go back and be empowered, be encouraged, um, and to know that their dreams are possible. To know that even maybe
Yeah.
when they feel alone and feel like no one wants to help me, or
Yeah.
even for some of the stuff that we talked about, it will give them hope. It will give them hope. So I just really want to say thank you, and I can't wait for us to be on again next time. Next time we're gonna do it live from Columbus, because I'm
Oh,
gonna visit there soon. Visit there soon. So but don't I'm gonna close up, but don't go anywhere. You can stay in the studio, because I want to say hi to Mama as well once we shut down. So but I just want to say to all our viewers, we want to say thank you for tuning in. This has been an amazing show, and I just want to thank my friend Stephanie Matthews. She's really been with me like for so many years and empowered me. And this is what we as people need to do, to say, God, who can I help? Who can I empower? Who can I pour into? Because you never know what someone may need from you. And before we go, I'm just going to play a clip that I was supposed to play, which is this Sunday coming. This is one of another thing that's dear to my heart, is young people. And then we are actually launching the Imagine Me movement, which is a movement where we want these young women to think, to know that, hey, imagine me, I can be anything. So we're gonna put that video to play the Imagine Me movement. And there we go. So this is the Imagine Me movement. So we're working with girls. This is new movement from 13 to 19. We want to make sure that they're fit. We want to make sure that they have good nutrition. We want to train them, educate them in any way that we can to empower our young women. So if you guys want to know more about it, next week we will be meeting with some of them. We have a virtual show for them, and also celebrating my birthday as well. That will be next week, Saturday. So that's what it is about. We just want to say thank you for tuning in. This is the Imagine Me TV show. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful evening.